Hi everyone! So today I'm making a little makeup tutorial, just basic show makeup so that you guys can practice and keep working on it until you get really good at it because there were just too many of us for people to go around and help each other out. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is concealer. This is Tarte concealer, but I had to buy it in the States, so just use any concealer. Alright, so you're just gonna put some of that on your eyes. And the reason we're gonna start with our eyes, it's a little different than when you do regular makeup, because with show makeup you have to make it a little bit darker. And with that, the eyeshadow is gonna fall everywhere, and then if you already have foundation done and all that, it's just a mess. So just conceal your eyes first, okay? So, yeah, excuse the squeaking. I have dogs in this room. Okay, so my eyes are concealed. They're very white, as if I can get any whiter, but it's done. So then I'm gonna put some powder on. Sorry, I'm gonna look through to the lens, and there's a little camera thing where I can watch myself, and then there's mirrors everywhere, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take, all you need is one good eyeshadow brush. If you don't have many, that's okay. We're doing the very basic. I'm gonna just use one brush for today. So, I'm starting off, it's just powder, it's face powder, but you can put that on your eyes. So, I'm just gonna put that all over, just for now. And make sure you get all the way up to your eyebrow so everything blends in. And I hold my face a lot, you might end up doing that too, and that's okay. So all this is done. Make sure you blend that in though so you don't have any like patches of powder, because ew. Okay, next thing. There's a lot of options of different kind of eyeshadows you can use, but my favorite one is the Tartelette in Bloom, because I just find it has a lot of different browns that personally I like on my skin tone. Okay. We concealed, we put powder, now we're gonna start. So I'm gonna start off with this one right here. It's called Smarty Pants. So it's a little bit like of a beigeish, darker color. Also, I'm really pale, so this is a little different. And as you practice, you're gonna find different things that work for you, but this is just how I do mine and just as an example. So I'm gonna start with that, and I'm gonna put it all along on top of the crease here. And I'm not going all the way up, but I'm definitely going higher. And I'm going to do that on both eyes. Make sure you put the same amount on both eyes because you don't want to have uneven eyes. That's just weird. Okay. Already done. Now, since it's going to get a little bit more complicated, I always use tape. It's a little trick. And just take a little piece. I usually just cut it in two like this. And here's where you have to practice on yourself, because everyone has these natural creases, like little wrinkles, that are just naturally there, and you have to follow that. So for me, mine is right here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Right here, like you just see the line. It's as if the eyeliner is already there, but it's not. So I'm just going to follow that, and it's going to be right here. I don't suggest you put it too close to your eye, because then it really hurts, and it's going to poke you. And the other side. And these are like my guidelines. So I will have fallout, you'll see when I take off the tape later, but it'll keep everything in its place. So next thing I'm gonna do is, this is where I start with the darker colors. So I'm gonna take, this is only if you have this palette, but I'm gonna take this darker color, so it's not super dark, but it's getting there. We're getting there slowly. So it's called Rebel, and I'm gonna put that on top, but mainly in the corner. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And I focus it on the outside, but then I definitely bring it in afterwards. Same thing on the other side. Oops. I'm going to start here, focus it, and then bring it in after. English, Alexa. My goodness. Okay. That's done. So, do not worry about this whole blank area. We're going to deal with that after. Next thing is I'm going to take this darker color. Personally, I like it And I don't always find a need to go much darker than that, but it depends on your preference and what your teacher wants and all that. So I'm going to take this last one. It's called Leader. And okay, I'm going to switch brushes. If you have one brush, stick with that. But I'm going to switch brushes and I'll show you why. So this is, it's by Morphe. I ordered these makeup brushes online, but as you see, it's a smaller brush, and here is why I'm going to use that. So I'm taking some of this, I'm just like packing it on the brush, and then I'm going to, again, like pat it on my eye, because this is something that's a little harder to do with the bigger brush. And I know it kind of looks silly right now, but we're going to blend it. And I'm just putting that on like the outer corner, sort of make like a triangle, like here, here, and here. And I'm gonna go all the way up. And then I'm going back with this brush, and then I'll blend it. It's very, very important that you blend, because whack lines are just, no, don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't look nice. Same thing on the other side. I could probably use some more. And when you're doing stage makeup, it is never, ever too dark. Only underneath is where you can get too dark, but on top you can just go to town with it. So again, it could be messy, doesn't matter. And I'll just blend it in for whatever, why not. And that side's a little darker, so I'm gonna add some more. Also, for whatever reason, one eye takes more eyeshadow than the other on my face. Who knows why, but that's the way it is. And I'm gonna blend that again. Okay, here's the tricky part. Personally, I always put sparkle on my eyes because I really like sparkles. But you can also just take like a color that matches your eyes. Like, personally, this really light color matches me. Maybe a little bit of a mix with the white too, but you know. But for me personally, I usually like sparkle and like a lighter sparkle, so I'm gonna use this one. You can also use a silver. Here, I'm gonna show you guys some more colors. Okay, this is the Naked 2 palette. So there's a lot of sparkly colors here. There's like a copper, there's gold, which looks awesome on stage as well. There's silver, a light silver and a dark silver. Yeah, and it just keeps going. Also, this palette has a black. And, I mean, sure, I'm going to show you guys a little black in this video, just because I want to show you how dark you can go on your eyes without it looking crazy. So, yeah, I'm going to start with the sparkles first. So, what's very important is you have a flat brush, like this. Or you can use your finger even. So I use MAC Fix Plus. I'm not sure if you can see this. Can you see it? Can you see it? Not really. Anyways, it looks like this. And I just spray like one little spray on my brush and then make sure it's damp. And then I'm going to pat some eyeshadow on it. Like this. So make sure that you get all the way from the inner corner up to where you started that eyeshadow before. And yeah, you're going to need to use a lot of eyeshadow for this. And then go all the way out, because you can add more eyeshadow on top of this afterwards. So I'm going almost all the way to the end. Yeah, you can just pack that on there. And then I'm going to add some more to make sure it's really going to come out super bright, and that honestly comes from just making sure your brush is wet and packing on this eyeshadow. And same thing. I have gigantic eyes, so this might be very different on someone else, and that's again why you need to practice so that you figure out what's good on your eyes. And you can also look this up on Pinterest too, or wherever. Next thing, I'm going to go back in with that brown color, the darker brown color, and I'm going to put a little more and make sure that's blended in. So I'm putting a little bit of it to transition from the sparkle to the dark brown on the outside. So same thing here. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys with using black. It could be a little much if you use too much. So just be careful and use a little bit at a time. And I'm using the same brush and I'm just putting a little bit on, and then I go on the very, very edge, basically where my eyeliner is going, and a little bit higher. And that's about it. And same thing. Again, you'll figure out what your preference is. Sometimes, if I really feel like it, I'll go all the way up with a really, really dark color. But that depends on the dance, it depends on whatever. So, okay, the video stopped, and it's probably going to do that a couple other times. So, that's done, and, oh, this eye's not working too well today. But try to blend that as much as you can. Next thing, we are going to do eyeliner now. Yes, now, we're not saving it for later, because later is when we're going to clean things up. So, there's a couple of different options that you can do for eyeliner. I definitely suggest liquid liner, but I'm out currently. So I'm going to use, this is a Stila eyeliner pen. Make sure you're using black. Don't use brown, don't use sparkly, use a black eyeliner. It looks so much better on stage. Also keep in mind that the judges are really far back, and the reason that you do this makeup is that they're able to see your features from far. So it's a lot of makeup, it's not something you'd wear on the street, but the judges need to be able to see it. Black eyeliner from Tarte, and it comes in a tube. And I'm going to use that, yeah, I'm going to use that for today, just because I'm using sparkle, and when you use an eyeliner pen, you're going to wreck it from the sparkles. So, I use, this is not an eyeliner brush, but I use it as one, and it's just this flat little, wait, yes, oh my gosh, it's really not focused, but it's just this flat, tiny brush. So, here's the fun part. So you put the eyeliner on your brush, or you just use a liquid liner, like out of a tube or whatever you find. And here we go. So you're gonna start from the outside all the way out, but don't go like all the way out here. No, just start around, let's just say like a centimeter in from where your eyebrow ends. So for me, it's here. So I'm gonna just start making a straight line off of the tape. Then I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna make this a very weird shaped triangle from here, here, and here, all the way in. I probably look ridiculous right now. Oh, and don't share makeup. Certain things you can share, like eyeshadow, blush, you know, those sorts of things. I'm just gonna do the other eye. Okay, here's another weird trick. You can kind of hold, even if it's an eyeliner pen or just like the liquid liner. Although, I wouldn't use liquid liner here. I would use like a crayon, but if it's what you have, just go for it. So, what I usually do is I bring it close to me, and instead of going like this with my brush, I blink. And I just blink really fast, and then it usually goes on pretty smooth. So, as long as you're careful with it, I'm gonna go right into my inner corner. On both eyes, of course. And there we go. Next, another fun part is highlighter. And I'm going to do the highlighter now, and you'll see why. You can use the same flat brush, or again, your finger, or whatever you need, but I would use your pinky finger because it's really specific. So, I'm taking a little bit of highlighter. I'm going to put it right under the arch of my brow. So I'm going to go right here and all the way. So all of this I'm going to highlight. Doesn't look like much, but when you get on stage and you have all the lights, you're going to have some more shine in your face and you won't look like a ghost. Woo! Alright, I'm just doing really simple makeup. But if you want to go a little bit more advanced, I'm going to do this fun little thing. So, where's my brush? Okay, here's a different little technique. So, I have this like weird round brush. Again, you can't really see it. So, I'm going to go in with the darker color. And to make this line between the between the sparkle and the makeup on top more clear, this is what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to follow this little line, my imaginary line, or you can just follow like a line, like a crease on your eye, and literally outline it like that. You can also do this in like a burgundy-ish color. That's always fun. And then I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on top so that it's not too crazy. We don't want to make it look like you put eyeliner there. And then you're gonna take your blending brush from before and blend that out a little bit. Yeah. Alright, that's it for the eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to rip off the tape. So we're going to go like this. Woo! And I'm realizing how crazy it looks on camera, but trust me, on stage it looks great. And I have this like weird situation right here, and I'm just going to blend that out. Okay. This is why it takes me an hour to get ready before for a show. Next is we're going to do the rest of our face. We're not going to put mascara or under eye anything yet, or our brows. So, you need to prime your face. The reason for this is you're going to sweat, and the lights are there, and you need your foundation to be smooth, and endless reasons, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm using, I have to write this down because it's in this now. It's called Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser by Maybelline. This stuff is basically a cheaper version of Professional that you can get at Sephora, but they work just as well, so I use this. So, yeah, whatever craziness happened underneath, this primer will basically take it away. Yeah, this stuff also kind of erases makeup too, not just your pores. Okay, next thing is I'm going to put foundation on. Yes, you should be wearing foundation on stage no matter what age. Just make sure it matches your skin tone. You don't look totally orange because that'll show. So this is, it's a Rimmel, it's just a drugstore brand foundation. I find it works super, super well, and you don't need to go fancy with your foundation, especially when it's for stage. So I'm just going to put some of this on my hand, and I'm going to use this itty bitty sponge, this tiny thing, because the rest of my beauty blenders are broken. So I'm just gonna put this all over my face, and I'm not blending it yet. I'm just gonna put spots. And especially where I'm red, I'm gonna put a little bit extra. Then I'm gonna go back with the concealer I used before on my eyes. I'm gonna put little dots of that right here. And I'm also going to use this to contour my face a little bit. So I'm going to put a little strip of this down my nose and just up like this. And I personally like to go like this, right under my lip and to the side. Again, you're going to figure out what you like. Now I look pretty silly, but we're going to blend this out. So I'm going to use this kind of brush. There's like a bunch of foundation brushes you can use, and my camera stopped again. So we're just gonna go down and we're gonna blend this in. You want to do one area at a time because of things like this where we have concealer under our eyes and we don't want that everywhere. And now you need to set it with powder. So you have a couple options here. You can use translucent powder. Personally, I like this one. It's Makeup Forever. And what is it called? It's called Ultra HD of Micro Finishing Loose Powder. It's clear powder, so it's good for all skin tones. And it looks like it's white, but I promise it comes out pretty clear. And then sometimes I like to mix that just with this powder that I've been using. But it all depends on what you like. So for this, you need a sponge because, yeah, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to put some of this on my sponge. Oh my, I'm making a mess. And then I'm going to put this all under my eyes and all the way down, just to the corner of my nose. And you don't have to powder your entire face just yet because you're going to use blush and bronzer, so that'll do the job as well. You don't want to make your face look like a cake. So I'm going all the way down. I'm also going on the side of my nose and all the way to the inner corner of my eye. Okay. Basically, I'm going to put this on places that I sweat most. So under my eyes, I'm going to put under my lip here, all the way out where I put the concealer before. And I put a little bit on my forehead, because I'm going to put bronzer and a little bit of blush there later. Okay. Now, personally, I like doing it this way where I have that powder sitting on my face. I look ridiculous right now. It's okay. It's gonna get better. So I'm gonna take the same brush. I'm gonna put a little bit of this powder. Yeah, this craziness. I'm gonna put this on my brush, just a little bit. And I find it helps me blend, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, that's done. Next, I'm going to use bronzer. Bronzer, you can sort of get cheap with this too. You can get it at the pharmacy really cheap. I just get allergic reactions to a lot of them because a lot of them have a lot of sparkle in it and chemicals that clearly my face does not agree to. So I use this one. It's kind of popular. It's called Hoola, and it's pretty dark, and I will show you how dark it comes out on my face and why you don't need to use a lot, but especially on me because I am so pale. So I'm gonna make a fish face, and I put it right here. Yes, that's how dark it comes out. And I'm gonna bring it all the way up. I'm not going back for more though. I don't need more, so I'm just gonna keep blending that all the way to my temple and into my hairline. And I can do the same thing on the other side. Gotta make sure it's even. And depending on your face shape, I prefer, again, it's up to you, I prefer to put a little bit of bronzer up in my hairline up here than I do on my nose. And the way I do this, you don't want to make your nose look like a stick. So I go down the sides. By the way, this is the brush that just comes with it, but you can use even like a clean eyeshadow brush if you needed to, or just a smaller foundation brush or whatever you want. So I do side, I go down a little bit here, and then what I do is I make like another line sort of on the lower half here, so that you still have a nose and it's not a stick on your face. Okay, a little bit on my chin and on my neck. And then I go back with my blending brush. Next, I'm going to use, okay, I have a couple of different blushes that I like to use. Personally, this is my favorite. It's really old, so I need to find a new one, but it's like this rosy, dark, almost reddish blush. And I use this blush brush for it, like that. So it's not too big. But I definitely make sure to pack this on, and I'm going to get a lot of that. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna start on the outside. Reason being, don't start here. You don't want to look like a doll. You want to look like you're on stage, but just not a ghost. So you're gonna start on the outer, I don't know what to call this, the outside of your face. You're gonna start here, basically in your hairline, and then move your way in. So you see the bulk of it is here, and then you can blend it in after. Then I like to put on top where I put bronzer before to add more color to my very light face. I put on my chin. I put on the top, I just swipe a little bit here. I also put on my temples, and basically where I put the bronzer before, I just put some of the color on top. And here, and that's it. Alright, another fun time, highlighter. So I use, what is this? Becca's Champagne Pop. It's like a golden highlighter, but this is a, I got this little sample for example, I got the sample. It's a lighter color, and it sort of looks better on me because I'm pale, but I just choose to use the other one because it's pretty. But you can use whatever you want. This one's liquid. You can get highlighter in all sorts of different things. For whatever reason, I like to use this. Honestly, you can even use your finger. But what I do personally is I take this brush and I do the same thing as I did before, is I'm going to wet it a bit. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit and I'm going to go down my nose just a bit, basically in the middle of my nose. And then I'm going to use my finger and then I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. And then I'm going to put the end of my nose, blend it out. Another fun thing you can do is put it on top of your lip, like this. But just there, and then dab it out with your finger. And then on your cheek. So I go all the way, not all the way out, just a little bit, and I bring it in. Worry about overdoing it too much, as long as it's in the right places. So don't put highlighter all over your face, please. Just put it where it needs to go. So here, my nose. You can also do your chin. Here, I'll do it. I put it right here, just a little bit. And that's basically it. And you already did your eyes before, so that's done. Alright. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go into the under eyes and mascara and that whole eyelash situation. So, I'm taking my palette again. And I'm going to use this. You can play around with whatever brush you like to use. I'm going to show you guys a couple. So I'm going to use the same brush as I did before, the really, really small one. I also have this flat brush that I like to use sometimes. And what else? What else? I can even use my eyeliner brush as long as it's clean. This is a blending brush, but because it's flatter, you can use it on your under eyes. Yeah, that's about it, but I'm going to use this one for now. So, again, I have really big eyes, so for me I need this, otherwise I look kind of crazy having a lot of eyeshadow on top. But some people find that they don't need it as much, so you'll figure out what you like and need. So, I'm going to put just a lighter, that beige color that I started off with. I'm just going to put that all under from corner to corner, both eyes. Careful not to poke yourself in the eye. Okay, then I'm going to use the darker color, like the darkest color I used before. This isn't the black color, it's just the dark brown. So I'm going to just use that on the outer corner. And if you'd like, you can bring it all the way out underneath your eyeliner. Okay, under eyeshadow's done. Next, you know what, let's go into brows right away. Because the reason I'm doing this is because sometimes when you do mascara, it doesn't dry right away. And then you're going to make a gigantic mess. So, I have this, you can get this anywhere, you can find one at the pharmacy. It's just to fill in my eyebrows. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. But you can use whatever, you can even use an eyeshadow as long as it's not like gray or black. So I'm just going to make a straight line underneath. And then I use this little brush on the opposite side and I just bring it up. And then I'm going to make the arch of my brow here all the way down, and then I fill that in. On the opposite side here, same thing. And and then I brush it all up at the end. Same thing on the other side. As you can see, there's a gigantic difference. And I highly suggest this, especially for the older dancers, because it really, really makes, I don't know how to explain this, it like just separates your features a little bit by doing your brows. So if they're not done, it's a little less clear, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I just like doing my brows. Same thing here. Remember, people, brows are not supposed to be twins, they're sisters. You can use clear mascara, or what is this? Yeah, it's clear mascara. And just gel that into place, because my eyebrow hairs like to go wherever they'd like to. So I'm going to keep them right here. Alright, time for lashes. Where's my curler? You definitely want to curl your eyelashes. Even if you have super long eyelashes, highly suggested. Unless your eyelashes are automatically straight up, then you don't need to do this step. So this is a little scary, but you get used to it. And make sure it's even so you're not having crooked eyelash hairs. Okay. Then, even if you're doing false eyelashes, you need to put mascara on. So, and again, not brown, not a color, use black. Black, black, black for stage. And these are just Morphe lashes that I bought online. They're really cheap. You don't need to go to MAC and get the $20 ones, although they're really nice. And they do last a while, but it's up to you. So I'm going to use this, and where is, oh, there it is. And I use, I don't know how to pronounce this, Qo? I don't know. It's from the pharmacy. It's lash glue. So the way you do this is, I'm going to open the glue. You're going to put the glue on the strip very carefully because you don't want to get it on the actual lashes. Okay, so then, I know I didn't wait long enough, but I'm just going to go for it. So, what's most important is that you don't have it all the way on the inside, and you don't have it all the way on the outside. Whoops. Oh no! So, I'm going to open my eye to make sure it doesn't stick to my bottom lashes, and try to avoid your top lashes, and I'm just going to press it down. Some people prefer to use tweezers for this. I got used to just doing it with my fingers. Alright, so that's done, and it feels like I have butterflies on my eyes, but that'll go away. Also, the glue's still drying. I know I should have waited a little longer before I put it on, but it'll do. So, while this is still drying, I'm going to do my lips. And for show purposes, I'm going to do red lipstick. 1 second, Mom's calling. Okay, so for lipstick, you need to line your lips unless you're a magician and are able to pull off red lips without liner. I've never seen it done. So, this is a MAC red liner. You can find them basically anywhere. Here's the fun part, is red lipstick. I use this one I bought online. I honestly can't even read the writing. I don't know what the brand is, but it stays on. Alright, there we go. So, I look pretty crazy right now, since my hair isn't done for show and whatnot, but this is your stage makeup. This is what it looks like. As you can see, eyelashes really, really, really help, but if that's not an option, especially for your show, that's okay. Red lipstick as well. If you don't have a liner, it's not the end of the world. Just use a brush and make sure that it's clean lines, because you do not want red lipstick all over your face. Another thing you can do is you can spray your face. I use MAC Fix Plus sometimes. There's a bunch of setting sprays out there that you can use, and they're very, very helpful, especially on show days where you have several numbers, but again, it's just, that's an option. So if you have any questions, I'm always at the studio, so ask me anytime. You can also look up a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there. So see you soon.